Fair use, fair use, fair use. You got the original Lone Wolf coming at you with a quick little video. Once again, fair use. I reserve my rights under UCC-1-308. This video is by no way a video to try to convert United States citizens into sovereigns, nor am I attempting to take away any federal status that a U.S. citizen may have. This video is just simply an educational video, a tutorial, something that can be used for educational and entertainment purposes only. And again, I reserve all of my rights under UCC-1-308 and fair use. All right, y'all got the original Lone Wolf coming at y'all, man. What I am doing is I am checking the status of some tickets that was given to me by the University of Chicago, Illinois at Chicago campus police of all people. Okay, so now I received some tickets back in April or May or some shit. Driving without a license, driving with no insurance, and blah, blah, blah. The vehicle I was driving, the automobile that I was driving did not belong to me. Right now, let me point this out to y'all too, just in case you all are unaware of this. Let me come back out so y'all can see where I was. All right, here I'm at Google. I'm at the Cook County Clerk of the Court.org. This is their website that you go on to basically find out any tickets you may have. You can even find out criminal cases and shit from this website. So right here is just where we were when I just started the video. But anyway, let me get back to this. Here's one of the fraudulent ass games that these people play. You driving your sister's car, your mother's car, etc. Right? You're driving an automobile that isn't stolen, but is not registered to you. You do not own it, and you do not have insurance on that vehicle in your name. You get pulled over, and cops write you a ticket for an uninsured vehicle, right? And in most cases, what they're doing is they're looking for the insurance card to the person that, whoever owned the automobile. You know what I'm saying? The way they look at it is whoever owns the automobile or whoever will be driving it or whatever the case may be, their name should be on the insurance card. Here's the problem with that. There is no law that says that you cannot loan your car to somebody who does not have their name on your insurance. As a matter of fact, they do not regulate anything in regards to someone loaning you their automobile. There ain't no laws, no regulations or policies in regards to that, because that would just be flat out fucking unconstitutional. What would be next? You penalizing me for me loaning my lawnmower to my fucking neighbor, or he loaning me his fucking snowblower? You see what I'm saying? Which is the reason for why, which ain't very often, but very seldom when I am driving someone else's automobile, I never give them any information about those people. Whatever information you get from them license plates is what you get. And not only that, I will not reveal any information as to who these people are once you pull up information from their license plate. So in other words, when they go back to the car and run the plate and they see the person's name and all this other shit, when they come back to the car, I don't tell them, oh yeah, that's my mother's car. The car is registered to my brother. I don't do all that. It ain't none of your motherfucking business. You know what I'm saying? If you run those plates, if I'm driving my brother's car and his car ain't stolen and he ain't reported it stolen, then it don't motherfucking matter who my brother is. They ain't none of your motherfucking business. Just like I wouldn't show them my brother's insurance card. Even if I know he got one, even if I know it's in the glove box, I'm still not giving it to you. I'm not revealing any information that will help you in doing your motherfucking job. Not to mention, if I don't have my brother's permission via his insurance to drive his automobile, then my name is not going to be on the insurance. And in the event of me getting into an accident in my brother's automobile and it was deemed that I was liable for it, his insurance company is not going to cover it. So what fucking difference do you care if the car is insured or not? Because if your name ain't on the goddamn insurance, the car, as far as you're concerned, technically it's not insured because your name ain't on the insurance. The insurance company don't know who the fuck you are. The person who owned the car that has the insurance never went to the insurance company and gave them permission or gave them a notice saying someone else will be driving my car and they need to be insured. No such thing has ever happened. So if you get into an accident with somebody's car and your name ain't on their insurance and you're deemed liable for the accident, they're not going to fucking cover it. The insurance company is not going to cover the cost to repair the damage to the car you were in, nor will they cover the costs or medical expenses of the people you ran into if you're deemed liable. They're not going to fucking cover it. So what does that mean? Theoretically, the fucking car is uninsured. Period. Even if you show them a copy of that person who owns the automobile insurance card, even if you show it to them, it still doesn't fucking matter if your name ain't on it. This is just another fraudulent game that they play. Okay, so what I did was I went to court the first time, which I think was, this is May, right? Yeah. I had to go to court for the first time in April, right? Real nice lady. The magistrate, real nice lady. Keep in mind, these people are administrators. Excuse me. I don't give a fuck that they sit up there with a black robe on and they sitting up on a pedestal looking down at you. I don't give a fuck about that. They're not fucking judges. They're magistrates. They're administrators. Okay? Real nice lady named Tracy Porter. She didn't appreciate the fact that I wouldn't call her judge. I called her Miss Porter. And she was like, you refer to me as Judge Porter. And it's okay, Miss Porter. But anyway, so here's another game that they play to try to get you to come into their world. I was the last person to speak to this judge, right? Or excuse me, magistrate. And she was running 2 courtrooms. She made that clear. She was like, yeah, one of my constituents isn't here. I got to cover their caseload, so I'll be flipping back and forth. Mind you, we on Zoom and shit. So she do 10, 12 cases in our calendar, and then she go over to the next calendar and do a few and come back and blah, 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 right? So I'm the last motherfucker, right? I'm the last person to speak to her, right? Now we on Zoom, right? And my Zoom name is just say Galaxy S10 Plus. You know what I'm saying? I don't put my name in there, right? So she go into calling out the name of my phone and shit, right? And I'm looking in the chat. I'm the only one left. So I know she got to be talking to me, right? But she never asked my name. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, excuse me. I apologize. She never called my name. She just said Galaxy S10 Plus, you need to say something now or I'm going to end this Zoom call, right? And I should have just let the heifer went on and end it. That's what I should have did. But I finally spoke up and I said, well, that's not my name, but I am present. And she goes into, well, what is your name? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you my name. You're supposed to have my name. I know that I'm supposed to be here on this date and time in question. You don't have my name? So she goes into, well, I need your name in order to move forward, blah, 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 right? So now the game began. I'm going to fuck with her like how they fuck with us, right? And you need to start doing this once you learn this, but you got to learn it first. Once you learn the games that they play with traffic court, because you got to remember with each different sector, there's a different set of playing rules. So once you get done playing Sorry, that board game Sorry, those rules don't apply for Monopoly. You feel me? So you got to look at tax court as a Monopoly and traffic court is playing Sorry. They're 2 different games with 2 different sets of rules, right? So now I'm finna start fucking with her the way she fuck with me. So I go, well, my name is Tavares. And she goes, what's your last name? And I go, Beneficiary. And quite naturally, she look at me, right? And she, excuse me? And it's like, I say, yeah, my name is Tavares and I'm the beneficiary to the trust. Keep in mind, I'm talking about the Cesar K Trust, right? And she goes into what? So I wouldn't tell her my name, right? So I gave her the ticket number. I say, look, I'm making a special appearance on behalf of ticket number such and such, such and such, such and such. And we'll get into that in a minute because you got to enter that ticket number into the system in order to see the updates and this, that, and the other. So she pull up the what's the name, right? And she goes, are you Tavares Tankersley? And I'm like, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? And she like, well, what do you mean? I say 9 times out of 10, what you're reading from has that in all capital letters. That's not me. Right. So I go right back to the whole thing about my name is Tavares. I'm the beneficiary and I'm here by way of special appearance. So she goes into, well, this isn't that kind of court and blah, 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 and blah, 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 right? It's like, oh, really? Well, then what kind of court is it? I love when they do that shit. You know what I'm saying? She goes, well, this is a traffic court, and this is about the matter of, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't driving without a license, my bad. It was a stop sign. A stop sign is what initiated the stop. And then, you know, the whole thing about the insurance and blah, 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 blah. Now, imagine you ain't got no license either. I ain't got no driver's license. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I gave this nigga my name, because he asked me for my name and my date of birth when he pulled me over. The only reason why I didn't get his motherfucker, the only reason I gave him my name and my birthday is because I had my pistol with me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to escalate the situation to where they want to start pulling me out the car and searching me and all this other shit. Then they're going to take my gun. Then I'm going to have to fucking go and go through the bullshit to get it back and all this other bullshit. And it's like, seeing that I know how to beat the traffic tickets, them taking my fucking gun from me and me having to go through 6, 7, 8 months of bullshit rhetoric to get my fucking pistol back, I say, no, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. I just get this nigga my name and my motherfucking date of birth, and I deal with these motherfuckers on the back end. So that's what I did. Right? So she goes into, you know, this is a matter of failure to stop at a sign and, you know, no insurance, driving an uninsured vehicle. So then I go into the whole thing about, you know, I'm not a fucking driver. You do know that any Black Law's dictionary that you look in, the definition of a driver is a motherfucker that's employed to operate the carriage or the fucking horse or the buggy or whatever the fuck it is that he's operating. And notice the key word is employed. That's the key word. It's employed. Right? So I go into, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing about the license, and, you know, the definition of a license is to have permission to do something that will otherwise be illegal. So basically what a motherfucker is doing is giving you permission to break the law. That's an oxymoron in itself. That's an oxymoron. Nobody can give you permission to break the fucking law. Nobody. Right? So she going on and on and on and on. And I'm not letting her go in the direction that she wants to go in. Like how I told a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying, especially y'all from my original channel, I don't have conversations about what's going to happen to me and all of the penalties and all of that bullshit. I never allowed a conversation to get to that point. Oh, well, you know, you could be charged $1,000 for not having insurance, but I don't get into all that. I'm sorry, they never get into that with me. And it's the reason for why is because I never allowed the conversation to get to that point. So she goes into, well, did you fail to stop at a sign and this, that, and the other, woo, woo. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. When in doubt, guys, when in doubt, just tell them, I don't know what you're talking about. Did you not see the stop sign? I don't know what you're talking about. What sign? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Straight up, this is how you got to be. You know what I'm saying? This is the way you have to be. You don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And in reality, you're not supposed to know what they're talking about. They're coming to you with policy. They're coming to you with procedure. You are a sovereign. You deal with the fucking law. If it's policy and procedure, that means it's not law, people. And this is just a crash course joint. This is just for anybody who may watch this video who may just be getting into it. This is just a crash course one-on-one type deal. You don't really know what they're talking about. There are over fucking 10 million statutes and codes on the books. How the fuck you supposed to know what they're talking about? You know all 10 million of them goddamn codes, or 12 million, or however many it is. It's millions of them. Just know that. There are millions of them. Literally. How the fuck you supposed to know? You're not. You don't. You don't. So because they're coming to you with codes and policy and procedure, for you to say, hey man, I don't know what you're talking about, you really telling the truth. And you may say, but damn, Longwood, they was talking about a stop sign. I don't know nothing about that shit. Don't no motherfucking stop sign govern my goddamn life. I'm a sovereign. How in the fuck is a sign gonna govern my life? How? How? Here it is, the creator allegedly gives you something called free will, right? Right? For all you fucking Bible thumping Christians, right? Don't the creator or God or whatever the fuck y'all call it, don't that motherfucker give you free will? Well, if you got free will by the creator, then how in the fuck is your goddamn life governed by a sign? Tell me how. How is your life governed by another man or woman? Tell me how. I like to know. How in the fuck do your children not belong to you, but instead belong to the state you had them in? Tell me how. If even the creator don't rule over you like that. That's because they're dealing with policy. They're dealing with statutes. They're dealing with codes. They're dealing with regulations, procedure. None of that shit has anything to do with the law. So guess what? You trump that. You trump that, period. And I'm finna prove it to you. So we going around, right? Keep in mind, we never got into the whole thing about driver's license being suspended and all sorts of shit. Keep in mind, I don't have a driver's license. You can't suspend something that don't belong to me. Get the fuck out of here. What sense does that make? That makes no sense. I didn't create the fucking license. It don't belong to me. If it tell you on the back of your social security card that your social security card don't belong to you, you better damn sure believe that that birth certificate, your fucking driver's license, your social security card, your voter's registration card, and any of that other foolishness, that shit don't belong to you. It don't belong to you. So when you tell them, I don't have a driver's license, in reality, you really don't. Now, when you add the lack of full disclosure that comes with the driver's license, that comes with the state ID, you really don't have that shit because it's not binding. Full disclosure kills everything under contract law. If they don't disclose everything fully to you, it's not binding. Okay? So she went on into, well, you want to have a trial then? No, I don't want to have no motherfucking trial, right? And I say, well, first off, the man or woman that's saying I done something, that wrote these negotiable instruments that I am now the holder in due course of, that you call traffic tickets, because keep in mind, traffic tickets is a contract. They become negotiable instruments. Okay? And when you are the holder in due course, the holder in due course is the motherfucker who's in possession of the instrument. That's all holder in due course mean. That's all it mean. You are the one that's in possession of the instruments. And under contract law, you have the right as the holder to do with said instruments as thou please. Right? So, she really looking and, so I tell her, I say, well, dig this here. I say, the motherfucker ain't even here. How the hell we gonna have a trial? How we gonna move forward? I don't even feel comfortable talking. Who the fuck am I supposed to be talking to? There ain't nobody here but me, you, and the so-called state's attorney. Well, you can have the trial with the state's attorney. How? This motherfucker don't have no prior knowledge of what happened. What the fuck you mean, lady? What are you talking about? So I'm telling her that, like, lady, I don't understand. How the hell could we do that? How? How could we move forward, lady? How? They've been holding Zoom calls for, like, traffic tickets for 2.5 years now. And from 2.5 years up until now, there ain't no cops in the fucking courtroom. Now, they still moving forward. Oh, yeah, you were charged with going 6 miles over the speed limit, right? They holding business, court as usual. They're conducting business as usual. But there ain't no motherfucking cops in there. You're supposed to throw the fucking case out. If the person that is saying that you done something, even if it's an infraction, right? It don't necessarily have to be the law. You know what I'm saying? Because, law like you killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? You need a motherfucker there to say that's the nigga that killed him. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to be the law. It could be an infraction. The person that is saying you committed the violation, they got to show up. They got to show up. You can't just move forward with some shit like that. Well, because people are so fucking stupid, they've been doing it in Chicago for the last 2.5 years. So I say, lady, I don't even really feel comfortable talking to you. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that. But I do realize and understand that without an injured party, or at least somebody here to say that I did something or didn't do something that hurt somebody, you know what I'm saying? They have to be present. You can't expect for me to go to war with the fucking state's attorney. What if I ask questions that the state's attorney can't answer? Keep in mind, the prosecutor has no prior knowledge of what happened. So how the fuck am I supposed to talk to this nigga? So when it was all said and done, she going into constantly asking me, well, I'm going to set the new court date for, it was this month on the 18th, which I think is, this is April. Well, it's going to be June, but May the 18th was the new upcoming court date. So she kept saying, well, we'll set the trial for May the 18th, and I want you to come back at 1:30 p.m. Okay? Right? And I noticed she said, okay. Right? So I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So we go around another second or two, and then she go right back to, well, I'm going to set the trial date for May the 18th at 1:30, and you be back here at 1:30 and use the same Zoom passcode and username. Okay? Right? And she always say okay. Right? And every time she said okay, I'm like, nah. Straight up, I swear to God, I wish my mother was here because I did the Zoom call at my mama's crib. I swear to God, she heard everything. right? So we went through that like 3 or 4 more times. And each time she would say, okay, at the end, right? Which is going back to the fact of if y'all ever heard them say if you ever heard a motherfucker say, especially me or anybody else, say that they need your consent, this is an example of what I'm talking about. She kept asking me, okay. She trying to get me to agree. Now, I'm already knowing this. Keep in mind, I'm up to like 11, 12, 13 motherfucking moving violations I done beat, right? So I pretty much know what I'm doing now when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already knowing that, okay, she trying to get me to agree. I'm already knowing it. She kept asking me that. She kept saying, okay, man. She kept repeating that shit and saying, okay. And after like the 5th time, I swear to God, this is no bullshit. After like the 5th time, I'm like, look, lady, you done did this shit like 4 or 5 times. And each time I done told you no. Because she had already went through asking me what I want. When she had said, well, I'm going to set a trial date in the very beginning, I was like, nah, I don't want that. She's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, what I want you to do is either you provide somebody that's going to say, I done something. Whether if it be the fucking punk ass policy officer that pulled me over or just, an ordinary man or woman. I need you to either bring somebody in here who said I done something or what I did not do caused harm, or I want you to throw the fucking case out. I want you to dismiss the shit. That's what the fuck I want. And she, well, no, I see sufficient evidence to move forward and blah, 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 blah. And then that's when she went into the whole thing about setting up the upcoming new court date. And she kept saying, okay. We went through that shit like 5 times. After the 5th time, like, look, lady, I don't want to ignore you. You know what I'm saying? Because she was a nice lady. She was real pleasant. I got to give her credit for that. She wasn't a fucking asshole. She wasn't. At all. Right? But it's like, come on now. You can't keep asking me that shit. I told you no. I told you no like 4 or 5 fucking times. No, I don't want to fucking come back in this bitch. Right? So I didn't. The new court date was for May the 18th. I didn't go back. So this is what I did. I sent this lady a letter. Basically, it was a conditional acceptance. Okay? Learn conditional acceptances. It's part of the Uniform Commercial Code. It's also a part of contract law. And you got to understand that contract law derives its law from the common law. The common law is constitutional law. It is sovereign law. It is that God-creative, God-given right law. That's what it is. So what I did was I sent her a conditional acceptance. Go look the shit up, all right? Go look it up because I'm not really here to explain what that's about. It's to prove how when you know who you are and you go about it a certain way, the shit they put upon you, that shit'll just disappear. And that's what this video is about. So I sent the lady a conditional acceptance, signed under penalty of perjury with my beneficiary signature, right? I got it notarized. I attached a Form 56, which is from the IRS, which makes administrators, because that's what she was. She's not a fucking judge. I know she's sitting there with a black robe on, guys. I know that. I understand that. But they're not judges. I don't give a fuck that they got a black robe on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know they wear them, and I don't care that they're wearing them. They're still not judges. She's an administrator. So I sent her Form 56, making her the fiduciary or / trustee over said situation. Those traffic tickets. I automatically made her the trustee. I'm the fucking beneficiary. Okay? It's your job as trustee to resolve this matter in the best interest of the fucking beneficiary. That's me. That would be you if they pulled you over and tried to drag you into a court. Make them motherfuckers the fiduciary. So what I did was I sent her a letter saying, hey, look, last time I talked to you, I told you I didn't want to fucking come back to court. I didn't want to go through any more of this fucking nonsense, right? And you set a new court date anyway, which she did. So she kind of ignored me. So I say, I will conditionally accept your offer. Because that's what that was. She offering for me to go to trial. She gave that to me as an option. That's an offer. So I sent her a conditional acceptance saying, hey, dig this here, family. I will conditionally accept your offer if you can provide this, and this to me within 3 days or whatever, without me looking at the letter I sent her. I think it was like 3 days. I didn't give her a lot of time. 3 days from the date you get this fucking notice, this fucking letter, signed under penalty of perjury, with a notary signature on it. By the time you get this, you got 3 days to fucking supply this shit to me. And if you cannot do it, that means there's no contract. There is no offer. There is no agreement, right? So I went on into telling her, If you decide to ignore this notice that I'm giving you, I've already attached the Form 56 that's enclosed with this notice. I will also be filling out a Form 49A form, which is another form that comes from the IRS. And this is a form that you use to snitch on corporations, right? They literally tell you that. And I'm finna prove it to you. Finna show y'all real quick. So we're gonna go to form, God damn it. Form 3949A, right? And we're gonna click on this motherfucker. This is straight from the IRS's website. We're gonna click the first link. Open. See this shit? It say information referral. Let me blow it up some. Come down. See right here? It say use this form to report suspected tax law violations by a person or a business. Now, we already know these traffic court joints is a fucking business. We already know that a goddamn person or individual can be an entity or a corporation as well. We already know that. So within that letter, I say, dig this here. I'm going to report your motherfucking ass to the IRS because the last thing I want to be accused of is tax fraud. Right? I put that shit in the envelope. And I sent it to her via certified mail, and you already know my certified mail and shit is prepaid. Okay, y'all already know that. That's one of the joints that I sent under the Prepaid Act. So if anybody that ain't seen that video, go back and watch that video where I show you guys how to send your mail certified. I'm talking about certified mail where you get that little green signature card back. How you do it without having to pay them any money up front. Or pay them any money at all, for that matter. Okay, so May the 18th came, I didn't go to court. You know what I'm saying? Today, I got up, I said, damn, man, let me go ahead and check the status of these motherfucking tickets and shit to see, you know, what happened. And so, right here, we're going to put in the motherfucking traffic ticket number. Because actually, both of them you just seen is the actual number. All right, we're going to type in this, I am not a damn bot thingy. B1I. Search. You see what it say? You get nothing. Results as of 5/30/2020, 12:36 p.m. No record. Okay, we'll go back. We'll do the other one. 585. Capital K, capital A, capital O, capital E, and then, oh shit, I'm doing it wrong, hold on. K, A, O, E, 5. See that? Nothing. Now this shit should have been in the system already because I got pulled over in March. My first court date was in April. I went to court in April. She continued the case until May. So you know good and well that's enough time for this shit to be in the system. There's nothing in here. If you look me up by name, you won't find nothing. If you look me up by driver's license number, you ain't gonna find nothing. Nothing. The shit is gone. So don't tell me that these people don't know, man. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They know. It's just a matter of what are you gonna do about it? It's like how I was telling motherfuckers like my ex and shit. It's like, shit, now that I know how to use the IRS, them niggas is gonna be my best fucking friend. Straight up. Now that I know what they're really there for. These motherfucking corporations, like the traffic court place that I went to, they are just as scared of the IRS as ordinary fucking people. The minute you start talking about the IRS, them niggas are like illegal immigrants. When you tell them the Immigration and Custom Enforcement Act is here, motherfuckers start diving under tables and crawling in little crevices and shit. That's how these courts and shit act. They are terrified of the IRS. You know why? Because the IRS don't discriminate. They want their fucking money. They don't give a fuck who you are. I didn't know that. See, they don't teach you that. They ain't gonna teach us that kind of shit. These motherfuckers in these courtrooms, you know what I'm saying? Whether if it be child support court, traffic court, or whatever the case may be, these motherfuckers are terrified of the IRS. They scared of them because the IRS will come after them. And they don't teach you that. They don't teach you that shit. It's like, wow, I didn't know that. So again, man, I'm just getting on here real quick, man, to point this shit out to y'all. So you all can get into the process of taking back y'all rights. You know what I'm saying? These people don't have a right to do the shit that it is that they doing. And this is crazy, right? Because to go to show you how dead wrong these people are, you don't even have to use your Aborigine status, man, to get out of this shit. You don't even have to use your Aborigine status to get out of this. You don't have to go to these people. Yeah, you know, I'm indigenous to the land. Y'all ain't got no business doing this shit anyway because y'all set this shit up on our land, right? Now, if you choose to do that, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you don't have to do that. Like I've told people in the past, I use that as an extra bullet in the chamber. That's the reason why I don't tell them in the beginning that I'm an American Indian or I'm indigenous to the land or whatever, not to be confused with Native Americans. I use that as a last resort. I use that for if you want to fucking give me a rebuttal or you want to come back with some bullshit after I done already took your shit and smeared it in your face with it. If you ignore that and then you try to clap back, then that's when I go into the whole thing about being indigenous. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have not had to do that. Not to get out of something. You know what I'm saying? I did it voluntarily. Like when I sent the letter to Jesse White, who is the Illinois Secretary of State, revoking my signature for my license and all this other bullshit for registration, for in the past or in the future or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I told them that I was indigenous to the land or whatever, but that's because I want them to completely take me out of their system when it comes down to anything that's not lawful. Not like, you know, shooting people and all that other crazy shit. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when it come down to you pulling me over for bullshit. Oh yeah, your plate sticker is expired. Here's the ticket. Man, get the fuck out of here with that. Nobody want that shit. Take that ticket and shove it up your fucking ass. Right? Because they're doing commerce. They're the ones that need the goddamn license. They're using the money to make, they're using the roads to make money. Your fucking ass is the one that need the goddamn license, nigga. Fuck you talking about? So you guys need to understand that, man. Straight up. And let me see if I can pull up her name real quick, because her name was Tracy Porter. Let me see something. Let me see if they'll pull her face up. So here she is right here. Real nice lady, too. The Illinois Supreme Court has announced appointing a Tracy judge. Oh, okay. They appointed her. But this is the lady right here. You see how she got her diamond earrings on? She got a little diamond motherfucking, her motherfucking Eastern Star fucking sorority bullshit diamond negligee. Earrings and what the fuck charm. Damn charm she got on there. Straight up fucking Eastern Star Freemason ass chick, right? But she was nice though. I gotta be honest. She was very pleasant. I cannot lie on the lady. I can't lie on her character. You know what I'm saying? At least the character she displayed to me that day. I'm not gonna assassinate her character. I won't do that. She was a real nice person. Very pleasant, very mild-mannered and shit. But it's like, lady, stop asking me that shit. I done told you 5 times, man, I don't want to come back to court in fucking May. You know what I'm saying? And then they just appointed her too. The appointment is effective November 12, 2021 and conclude December 5th, 2022 following the November 2022 general election. So here's a lady right here. You know what I'm saying? She gonna got a little attitude because I won't call her Judge Porter and shit. It's like, nah, lady, your name is Mrs. Porter or Tracy. Now, I'll let you choose. I know you'll get madder than hell if I call you Tracy, okay? But you're Miss Porter, okay? Period. But yeah, that's her. You know what I'm saying? So she know fucking well she ain't got no business doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you may say, well, what if they didn't? What if they ignored you? What if they didn't take it out the system? Because as you saw, I looked it up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to put my driver's license number in the system, you know, and put that out on YouTube or whatever, because once I do that, people can do whatever they want to do with it. But I put the driver's license number in there, even though I don't have one, you know, like physically have one. Like if you pulled me over now, I ain't got no fucking license. You could turn me upside down. You could tear the car apart. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. You ain't gonna get no driver's license. Not with my motherfucking picture on it, because I don't carry one. You know what I'm saying? But do I have a driver's license number? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I got a Class C license. I drive fucking trucks up to 26,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had one. You know, so when you put that number in, and again, like I said, they pulled me over back in March. So, you know, that's plenty enough time for them to put that shit in the system. Your driver's license number follow you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like once they pull all my information in the system that they're not gonna not know that it's me. You see what I'm saying? So when I put it in there by the driver's license number, it don't come up. It should come up by my name if nothing else. If nothing else, it should come up by my name, and it don't. So that's 3 ways. You got the tickets, you got the driver's license number, and then you got your actual name. You know what I'm saying? It didn't come up under none of that shit. You know why? Because she took it out the fucking system. Because had she not took it out the system, I would have did what it was that I said I was going to do. For any of you guys who may be wondering that, well, what would you do if she hadn't took it out or did this, that, and the other? Woo, woo. I would have reported her ass to the fucking IRS. Straight up. I would have filled out a Form 56, put her name on it, put her company's information on it, which is clerk of the county traffic division or whatever the fuck it's called. I'd have put that on there. I'd have put their address on there. I'd have put the room number on there. And I'd have sent the shit to the IRS in the downtown office. The IRS got an office downtown off Randolph. Because that's what you're supposed to send it to. You're supposed to send it to the IRS office from whatever city or village or town or whatever that they in, or the closest one to it. Let's say you live in a little tiny ass village or something, and they don't have no IRS, you know, joint in that village you live in, or a village where the courthouse is in. Let's say they don't have no IRS office. Then you send it to the closest one, to that town or that village. That's how you do that. So that's what I would have done. Straight up. And probably filed a lien against the company and all other shit. You know what I'm saying? But you usually don't have to go that far because they know they fucking you over. They already know. They already know they fucking you over. And once you have asserted your rights, this is the part where, this is the reason for why motherfuckers get struck down. You know what I'm saying? These commercial entities get struck down in Supreme Courts. This is the reason for why there's so much case law that uphold a sovereign man or woman's rights when it come down to travel, because you have to assert your rights in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You have to assert your rights in the beginning, and you don't want to add anything to put yourself in their jurisdiction. So stop sending their ass paperwork and telling the clerk to file it with that case and shit for a traffic ticket. Stop doing that fucking shit. Don't enter anything into their fucking court system. Why? Because of presumption. You are presumed that you realize that there's something wrong, and that's the reason why you're entering shit into their system. So don't fucking enter documents and all this other shit into, you know how you file the shit with the clerk. You file some sort of affidavit or some sort of notice or something with the clerk. Don't do all that shit. If you want to send something in writing, find out who the fucking judge is, find out who the prosecutor is or their office. Because it don't necessarily have to be that prosecutor, because they prosecutors change damn near every court date. Like if you get a court date today, you go in front of the prosecutor and then they give you a continuance until July, at least in Chicago. When you go back to court in July, I can almost guarantee you that you're not going to have the same prosecutor. And when it come down to traffic court, you don't even have the same fucking judge, especially if you get pulled over by a Chicago cop. Now, I got pulled over by campus police, which further makes this shit 100% ludicrous. How the fuck you gonna pull me over as a campus cop? I'm not even a fucking student. I'm not even on the campus property. How the fuck you pulling me over and talking about this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other? Get the fuck out of here, nigga. I ain't paying you shit. But if you don't know any better, this is how they get you. This is how they get you when you don't know any better. So I thought I'd get on here and point this shit out to you guys, man. Stop letting motherfuckers just mistreat you. You know what I'm saying? Stop not asserting your rights in the beginning. I sent that lady a letter. I told her who I was. I told her I understand the game you niggas is playing. I realize what y'all are doing. I sent her a conditional acceptance, because you got to remember, this is a contract. The tickets that this motherfucker gave me, one was for failing to stop at a stop sign. And then the other one was for, you know what I'm saying, I didn't show this nigga no insurance on the automobile I was driving. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, these are contracts. I wouldn't give a fuck if they wrote you a goddamn ticket for a DUI. The only time you should be nervous about a DUI is if you harm somebody or you tore up their shit. That's when you should be concerned about a DUI because that's under the law. You can't hurt people. You know what I'm saying? You cannot get in your car drunk as hell, driving down the street and run a motherfucker over. There are going to be consequences for that. You see what I'm saying? You cannot be drunk as fuck, driving down the street and crash into another motherfucker's car, or God forbid you run into their fucking house with your car. There are going to be consequences for that. But if you just get pulled over under the suspicion of a DUI and nothing else, and then they determine that you through their own little bullshit that you were driving under the influence, and they write you a ticket and take you to jail and all that other bullshit, you handle that shit the same way you would handle any other motherfucking ticket. Make the goddamn judge the fiduciary over the matter. Because with DUIs, they impose all kind of fucking penalties, all kind of crazy shit. Motherfucker be paying, motherfucker had to pull his colon out and cut it into 3 separate spots and pay a motherfucker with it. That's how fucked up them fees and penalties be for DUIs. You got to remember, it's about money. It's about commerce. So those fucking tickets that they gave you for a DUI is a contract. Like I said, if you harm somebody or you tear up their shit, that's different. Because there are consequences even if you weren't drunk. Even if you ain't got no alcohol on your breath, there are consequences for running people over with your car. There's consequences for running into people's shit. You can't do that. That's period. You just can't do it. And if you do, you got to do something to make it right. Straight up. But like I said, if you get pulled over just under the presumption of being intoxicated, and via their little bullshit, they deem you to be under the influence, but you didn't run into nobody, you didn't run nobody over, you didn't damage anything, nothing. You didn't do anything to break the law, then you handle that fucking ticket the same way you would handle a driving without a license, driving without insurance. It's the same fucking thing. Make they ass the fiduciary over the fucking situation, fill out a form 3949A, send that shit to the fucking, what's the name? To the fucking IRS. And I'm talking about you send it to the office that's closest to the fucking courthouse. Whatever town the courthouse is in, if they got an IRS office in that town, you send it there. Or whichever one is the closest to that courthouse. That's where you send it. Because they want you to pay this, that, and the other for DUIs. Suspend your license, then you got to pay this, that, and the other to get it reinstated and all this other shit. Keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, they're supposed to pay taxes on the money that they generate, and they don't. Keep that shit in mind. And the IRS don't give a fuck who they are. They want their money. Keep that shit in mind also. They do not discriminate. They don't. If you are deemed under that certain sector or that certain section under Title 26 of the IRC that says you're supposed to pay taxes, then your ass is supposed to pay taxes. And they don't give a fuck if you are a judge, a county clerk. They don't give a fuck who you are. You better pay. It's just that simple. And that's one of the secrets. You go into these traffic courts, you go into these motherfucking child support courts and this, that, and the other. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. If a judge order you to pay $250 a month, the motherfucking baby mama don't get $250 a month. She get whatever the fuck they give her, and they keep the rest. That is considered income by the IRS. This is how you're able to loop them into it. Like a child support court judge or whatever. That's how you're able to get them involved in that with the IRS. They don't pay taxes either, and they're supposed to. If you don't say nothing, it goes unchecked. Period. They have a separate books. Because another thing a motherfucker would say, well, how come the IRS don't ever audit them? Because they keep different books. They keep a book specifically for if they're going to get audited. And then they keep a separate set of books for the shit that they're doing that the IRS don't know nothing about. This is the reason why you fill the form out, you send it to them, you get whatever court order, whatever the judge order you to do, get that shit in writing. That way you can attach it to the motherfucking forms that you send it to the IRS. So they have what they need to go off of. Period. You put the court number, the court case on there. You put the date, the address of the court, the name of the court, the fucking name of the administrator. They want all of that information. All you gotta do is read the form. They want all of that information. And you send that shit to them with a copy of the fucking court order. If the court ordered you to do this or to do that or to pay this or to pay that, you send that in writing to the IRS, and they gonna come collecting their motherfucking money. Now you let them know in the beginning that if you move forward, that this is what I'm gonna do. You don't just jump out there and do it. I mean, you could, but it's better to remain in honor. Let them know, hey man, I know what you guys are doing. I know this shit is bogus as hell and that you can't do it. If you continue, this is what I'm gonna do, right? And you make sure they get it. And if they do what it is you telling them not to do anyway, then you move forward. So I just wanted to point this shit out, man. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are aware that these people don't have a right to do the shit that they doing to you, man. They don't. You know, and because of the fact that you all are able to send your mail prepaid, don't abuse it, guys. Don't abuse it. Don't try to send nothing through the post office that will be deemed illegal or some shit that could have your ass put in prison. Don't abuse the system. Don't abuse it, but by damn sure, use it. Okay? I didn't say abuse it. I said use it. So anything that, you know, you can't send guns and shit through the mail, bullets, drugs, you know, all this. And I'm just giving you an example of shit. It's probably more shit you can't send, but I'm just saying, you know, you can't fucking mail guns to your homie and shit. Don't be doing that shit. You can't mail ammunition and shit to your mother. I know you would like to, but if they find out about it, chances are your ass is going to prison. So don't do it. Don't be trying to send drugs and shit, niggas mailing kilos to niggas down in Miami or vice versa. Don't be doing that bullshit, man. Don't abuse it. Let them motherfuckers continue to abuse what they've been abusing so they can remain in dishonor. But don't you stoop to that level of dishonor. Okay? So start writing these motherfuckers, man. Start sending this shit to them. Send the motherfucking Secretary of State or whatever state you in. Send that nigga a letter. Send your congressman a letter. Send your fucking state senator a letter. Send these motherfuckers a letter. Hey, man, what's going on? Here it is. I'm about to send the envelope that Kwame Raoul returned the sender. Here it is. I'm finna send that letter to his boss. I ain't opened up the envelope. I ain't did nothing to alter it from the way it looked when they sent it back to me. And keep in mind, it was Kwame Raoul who did the return to sender. It wasn't the post office because it would have never made it to Springfield. And then not only that, why is it that all the other 11 documents, why did they all get signed for? Why did they all receive their shit? Why am I still getting back signature cards stating that they were signed for if I done something wrong, right? So what I'm going to do is take the whole fucking envelope I sent to Kwame Raoul, I'm going to stick that inside of a priority mail envelope, and I'm going to send that shit to Merrick Garland and be like, this is what your mans is doing, bro. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing that shit. And then not to mention, I sent you a letter on XYZ amount of time and your office signed for it. Your office received it. They took it. They didn't reject it. What the fuck is Kwame doing, G? Why don't you send that shit to him on my behalf? Straight up. And this is what I mean when I say don't abuse it. So far, I have not used this prepaid service for anything other than to writing CEOs of companies, so-called government officials and blah, blah, blah. They're the only motherfuckers I didn't wrote letters to. And the fucking three major credit bureaus. I sent them niggas a letter. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You feel me? I sent all three of them niggas a letter. The letter was the same. It was an identical letter, but I sent that same letter to all three major credit bureaus. This is the shit that I use that for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I wouldn't mail my mother a Mother's Day card or a birthday card or something like that. I'm just saying I haven't gotten around to using it for that yet. I haven't gotten around to mailing a package to, you know, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So far, the only thing that I've utilized the post office for with that regard is shit that is very important. So this is what I mean when I say don't abuse it, man. I'm not saying don't send your granddaughter a package from wherever you live to whatever state they in. I'm not saying don't do that, because you can. It's prepaid. I'm saying don't abuse it, man. Don't be doing no goofy shit. Don't be trying to fucking sell drugs through the mail and fucking run guns and shit. Crazy, stupid shit that could get you put in fucking prison. Don't do that shit, man. You know fucking well you can't mail guns through the mail. You know that now, so don't fucking try it. You can't mail drugs and shit to people. You can't do it. You can't. So don't fucking try it, man. And that's what I mean when I say don't abuse it. But damn sure use it. Straight up. This is Original Lone Wolf, man. I just wanted to put this little shit out here for y'all. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you guys get some sort of inspiration in regards to what it is that I'm doing. Because Lord knows, man, I'm around a bunch of bozo-ass motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about this kind of information. So let me get up out of here. Much love to y'all. You guys start doing what it is that is necessary to make sure that we can come up out of this bullshit that we are a part of that we need to break away from. All right? It's the Original Lone Wolf. Much love to y'all. Peace.